It's a phrase that defines our process of living, everyday life. Many of us dream of escaping from life's mundane routines, but for a few, it's a desperate dream they long for. This is the tale of our last decade. The United Nations, UN, an intergovernmental peacekeeping and war prevention organization, constitutes of various sub-organizations, such as its principal organs, subsidiary bodies, and specialized agencies. UNESCAP is one of the 5 regional commissions under the jurisdiction of the United Nations Economic and Social Council. It was established to foster economic development and growth in the Asia-Pacific region. UNESCAP also stands at the forefront of human rights advocacy in the Asia-Pacific region. This is the reason for their efforts. According to the WHO, the percentage of persons with disabilities in the world is about 15%. And of that number, around 700 million people call the Asia-Pacific region their home. 80% of all persons with disabilities living in the Asia-Pacific corridor are concentrated in developing countries. In developing countries, where basic medical services are inaccessible even to the general populace, life becomes a bitter battle for survival of persons with disabilities. A vicious cycle of disability and poverty continues to run its course. We all dream of a better life in prosperity and well-being. But don't we have to make sure that life includes persons with disabilities? UNESCAP, in an effort to bring down the social barriers that had isolated persons with disabilities from employment, political participation, and educational systems due to physical accessibility issues, implemented 3 separate Asian and Pacific Decade of Persons with Disabilities. The first and second Asia-Pacific Decade initiatives were implemented in China and Japan, respectively, and each highlighted areas required improvement. Each country had different definitions and standards on disabilities, which made it difficult to properly account the total number of citizens with disabilities, making it nearly impossible to find a direction which they could tailor future policies from. Hosted by UNESCAP in 2012, representatives of governments and civil society organizations of the Asia-Pacific region gathered in Incheon.
Make the right real.
It was a momentous event which declared the course of the 3rd Asian and Pacific Decade of Persons with Disabilities and the Incheon Strategy, its behavioral objective. The Incheon Strategy set 10 goals intended to improve the quality of life of persons with disabilities and to see the fulfillment of their rights. The first goal is to reduce the number of poverty-stricken individuals with disabilities and to enhance employment prospects across each sector. The second goal is to promote participation in political processes and decision-making. And the third goal is to enhance accessibility to the physical environment, public transportation, knowledge, information, and communication for persons with disabilities. The fourth goal is to strengthen social protection by enhancing government services for such as economic support and health. And the fifth goal aims to expand early intervention and education of children with disabilities. The sixth goal is to ensure gender equality and empowerment of women with disabilities, and to provide the knowledge and skills to help them become independent in their societies. The seventh goal is to ensure disability-inclusive disaster risk reduction and management. And the eighth goal aims to improve the reliability and comparability of disability data. With the data, the ninth goal aims to accelerate the ratification and implementation of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities in more countries in the Asia-Pacific region. The 10th and last goal is to advance sub-regional, regional, and inter-regional cooperation. between all countries of the world to successfully implement the Incheon strategy. With the aim to make the 10 goals into reality, they have included 27 aligned targets and 62 corresponding indicators to assess the implementation of the plan. The Incheon strategy is different from the two preceding initiatives in that it aimed for the first time in the Asia-Pacific region. A framework for disability-inclusive development has been prepared. Disability-inclusive development means that in any international development cooperation projects, from planning, implementation, and to the monitoring and evaluation will be disability-inclusive, allowing persons with disabilities' voice to be heard in the overall development process. It means formulating policies that target social, economic, and environmental problems faced by persons of disabilities, with the ultimate goal to empower persons with disabilities, uplifting them from recipients of charity to those who can enjoy full equality and participation under the law. The creation of the decade-long roadmap, which sought to promote social participation and independent living to over 700 million persons with disabilities in the Asia-Pacific area, started here at the Korea Disabled People's Development Institute. The projects of Make the Right Real Fund was activated in order to successfully execute the Incheon strategy, and soon CODI became its secretariat. CODI started to work in close cooperation with UNESCAP, along with the Ministry of Health and Welfare, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and KOICA. CODI intended to collaborate with UNESCAP and to establish the foundations of disability data, to draw up better and more practical policies to realize persons with disabilities' rights. They followed WHO's definition on disability and began to collect disability statistics, such as the number of individuals with disabilities, workforce count, living standards, and income surveys. All was for the purpose of generating comparable and reliable disability data between the countries in the Asia-Pacific region. And just like that, hope began to ripple outward from Incheon. The wave of hope continued to sway across the waters. Its first destination was India. CODI's Global Capacity Building Program kicked off in 2014, targeting in India and soon expanding to Nepal and East Timor. As time went by, more and more countries participated in the program, with the aim of aiding developing countries for proposing disability policies. CODI invited officials from each participating country's government and disability professionals in order to introduce Korea's policies on disability and to provide them with on-site tours of various welfare facilities. On top of formulating the policies, CODI also focused on helping them design action plans for resolving the poverty of persons with disabilities and their families. As the ultimate goal of the Global Capacity Building Program was the independent living of persons with disabilities, resolving the problem of poverty was the essential condition.
글로벌 연수 사업의 경우에는 액션 플랜 작성을 꼭 필수적으로 저희가 반영을 했었는데요. 이유는 이제 장기적인 성과를 측정하기가 조금 어려움이 있습니다. 왜냐하면 당시에 이제 열심히 배우셨더라도 그 이후에 어떻게 실질적인 변화로 이어지는지에 대한 측정이 좀 어렵기 때문인데요. 그런 것들을 이제 아쉬움을 뒤로 하고선 저희가 연수 기간만이라도 그 배웠던 내용들을 잘 내재화시켜서 자국으로 돌아갔을 때 자국의 어떤 현황이라든지 문제라든지 이런 것들을 좀 해결할 수 있는 고민을 조금 더 많이 해볼 수 있는 기회를 드리고자 이제 액션 플랜을 꼭 필수 요소로 넣었습니다.
The action plans established during the program eventually became the groundwork for country assistance projects. The action plans, which were carefully customized according to each participant's country and regional culture, helped facilitating the individuals with disabilities' economic activities and improving the household income of their families.
한국의 정책과 한국의 현황들을 많이 말씀드리긴 하지만 글로벌 연수 사업에 참여하시는 국가마다의 상황과 배경과 어떤 현황들이 항상 다 다르기 때문에 그분들의 국가 배경과 그런 맥락에 맞는 좀 포인트들을 많이 짚어드리려고 노력을 했었던 것 같습니다. 이를테면 이제 2018년도에 저희가 방글라데시와 부탄을 대상으로 연수 사업을 진행을 했었는데요. 부탄에서는 이제 장애물 없는 생활 환경에 대해서 관심이 많으셨는데 부탄이라는 국가 자체가 산지가 많은 국가이다 보니까 장애물 없는 생활 환경을 만들어 가는 것이 조금 어렵지 않나 하는 이제 정부 관계자분의 의견이 있으셨어요. 그래서 모든 물리적 환경을 바로 장애물 없이 바꿀 수는 없으니 그 건물 내적인 부분에서 좀 더 접근성을 높일 수 있는 방법을 고민하시는 게 좋을 것 같다는 이야기를 드렸고 이제 관계자분께서도 많이 동의를 하시고 또 그런 부분에 있어서도 많이 고민을 하셨던 그런 계기가 되었던 것 같습니다.
Since 2014, 12 countries have participated in the Global Capacity Building Program. And from those countries, 120 participants have been invited. The invited government officials and professionals spoke highly of the program's positive effect on their professional development in the disability field. The hopes and dreams of many kindred spirit coalesced into one and opened the door to a bigger, better world. VODA, Korea's first ever volunteer team composed of citizens with disabilities, were sent to a developing country, which helped improve disability awareness in developing countries. For the volunteer team VODA, its destination was Cambodia, a nation suffering from the after effects of civil war. It was in desperate need to rectify how people view disability.
활동 지원 서비스라고 해서 장애인들이 지역사회에 살아갈 수 있도록 인적 서비스를 지원해주고 있습니다. 이렇듯이 한국의 복지 정책들이 많이 변화되고 있는데요. 연금 지원은 나이 제한이 있고요. 만 18세에서 만 64세까지 지원합니다.
By speaking about improvement in disability awareness and welfare policies in Korea, the volunteers became a testament to the message, which allowed the team to make the foundation for improving welfare in the developing countries. The volunteer team VODA's change-inspiring effect wasn't just limited to Cambodia.
장애인 당사자도 봉사를 할 수 있다. 그것도 국내가 아니라 해외에 나가서. 그 글귀가 되게 제 마음을 사로잡았어요.
휠체어 댄스 스포츠라는 게 비장애인과 휠체어가 같이 춤추는 거잖아요. 또 이런 장르가 있다고 보여주고 온 거잖아요.
그 보여주는 것만으로도 장애인에 대한 이미지가 되게 색다르게 바뀔 수 있다라는 그런 자부심이 있었거든요.
자기도 이거 배우고 싶은데 어디서 배워야 되나요? 종목은 어떤 건가요? 라고 물어봤어.
휠체어 댄스 스포츠를 그들에게 알려줄 수 있는 봉사를 한번 해보는 건 어떻냐.
저희가 하는 장르 자체가 없었던 거예요.
좋은 프로그램들을 알려주면 보람이 있지 않을까라는 생각이 들고
우리가 첫 가가지고 이따 장르를 선보이고 왔잖아요. 그게 제일 보람이 제일 넘쳤어요.
장애를 가지고 있는 분들이 도움만 받는 것이 아니라 그들이 가지고 있는 재능들을 이렇게 서로 공유하고 같이 이렇게 잘 어우러서 살 수 있는 우리 지구촌이 되면 좋지 않을까라는 생각을 합니다.
When waves race toward the shore, they do so abreast of one another. The stars in the night sky sparkle brilliantly in harmony. Leave no one behind. For the world where no one is left behind. It is our precious hope that we all may enjoy the things we all rightfully deserve and live together in our brighter future.